Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We're on episode 415. This is going to be the final coloring in Small Victories that will complete this book, which I have colored in since March 15th, 2024. I have colored other books since I started this book, but it was the first coloring book I had ever actually colored in, having colored on pages that I had copied on my printer for many years. So we're on the final page. We are using Arrtx. You all voted. I should go verify that vote. How about that? I did not verify that. So I'm going to pop over to my channel and let's make sure that something didn't change. I've had this happen once before where I assumed it was one thing and then we got a bunch of votes and it was all different. So no, Arrtx is still up in the lead at 44%, followed by Starjoy Gold 29% and Castle Arts 27%. So I am relieved because I spent all the time to actually pull the pencils that I wanted. So this image takes up quite a bit of space and it is quite delicate, so I wanted you to see the whole image and I'm going to zoom in close. We will start with the top half first. I don't think it will take all that long to do, but I'm not going to be in a big rush either. I have another video that I was supposed to be working on, but I am too focused on this particular page. So I've got some lovely greens. The three main greens that I'm going to rotate through, going light to dark. And this is the set of pencils that I believe has the hardest number to read. So let's just take a look. This is what we've got. Can I see it better through? Not really. I might have to put my reading glasses on. Okay. Spring green, grass green, and dark green. I'm just going to say it that way. I mean, like I can see that it's 5015, I think, 5151, I believe, and 5511. Part of that is being familiar with these colors from using them in the past. So I'm going to start with the dark green, and I'm going to do the large leaves behind the daisy. I toyed with all different fun coloring ideas, unique and special, and thought, you know, I've kind of colored this book somewhat traditional, so I'm gonna stick with my style to the bitter end. Like I was thinking, ooh, maybe I'll do the leaves flower colors, and the flower colors will be the leaf color, or the flowers will be leaf colored. And I thought, nah. These spaces are small enough, and I've been on the whole Languo purchasing and practicing and playing with them, and I said, nope, not going to do that either. I'm going to stick with the Arrtx. These are boy, they're kind of Brutfuner. They're not as soft. People call them like a Prisma, a good Prisma alternative, but I think they are not as easy to use to fill in the tooth. I have to use more pressure and kind of go over things. They're not necessarily as smooshable, for me anyway, the way I use them. Where I just finished doing Prismas, the 1986 Prismas, with the current day Prismas, and so they're fresh in my mind, and right off the bat I can tell that these are not as soft, not as buttery. I just think they feel more like a Brutfuner, not as like oil, not as waxy as the Color, made in the same factory, but Nice nonetheless, requires a little extra work. You'll see that I'm actually now going over the top with this spring green color to fill in all that tooth there with those two, the dark and the medium green. I could go back over with another layer of the dark or the medium, but I want to get the glow of this beautiful spring green. I am doing this last image more fantasy bright colors, I would say. I did allow myself that leeway. I even have a fourth teal green that I'm going to introduce, I think, on the bottom, and that is, I can almost see that, 5560? No, that might be 8. I'm squinting. 5580 dark teal. I will use on a few of the leaves just for a variety of color. So now I'm going to stick with the spring green. The other challenge that I had to ponder was what to do with the background. And I have decided at this moment in time, and what the final deciding factor was for me, is that the words at the end are in black, and I didn't want to do a dark background and have to deal with like fading out to leave the end legible. So for the moment, I am going to forego a background, which, if you've followed me in this book, I have done very few backgrounds, and I actually want to keep using this book to practice backgrounds on pages that I have already finished, and there isn't a background. So I think it's okay to stay in the spirit of the book to the bitter end. Minimal background, if any. Somewhat realistic colors, though I'm going a little bit brighter than I would normally do. After we finish this image, I have a teeny tiny house. And if I finish pretty quickly, which I suspect I will, we will pop right on over. I haven't even looked or considered colors for it. And we'll just see if I can color it with these Arrtx pencils that I have. Yeah, the Prismas and the Woomers are currently my softest pencils that I own. And these are definitely a little more work. I think I have all of the light colors done. So now back to some darks. I think I'm driving my husband crazy with the late night colorings, because I just can't delay it. I did for a long time kind of drag my feet, but now I'm like, I just want to be done. And I think for my walkthrough, I will do a voiceover walkthrough that I might create a sped up version of it, and I will remove all of the sound for those who just want to see it and not have to hear me chatter on about it. I think I am going to make this have some of this dark teal, the 55. I still can't tell if that's a 6 or an 8. Now it looks like a 6. So I will have the colors all up in the description. Leave those pretty dark. I have this grass green that I am going to fill in the tooth with, and it'll give just a little bit of a glow. Burnishing with heavy pressure. Yeah, that's pretty. These might be a little harder to work with, but they are very pretty. Okay, I want to do... I can't really do the stems that dark, can I? Because I think I'm going to sharpen this. I can do these light colored. I do apologize. You guys all missed me do these lights down here. I forgot I had zoomed in. I hate when I do that. So those all at the bottom are just spring green. Not wanting that to happen again. Let's work on our daisy. I might even add just a little bit of orange. And promise I won't go any lower than that without moving the book down. Okay, yellow. I have a funny story to tell you about this yellow. Light yellow. I can almost not read that. 1013. I'm just going to say light yellow. This tip is broken. Look, I can almost, I can't take it out. I do not know at what point that it broke. If it's been that way the whole time until I sharpened it down to that point. But I have been using it because it is so far in. I'm using as much as I can of it. And at some point it's going to give way. But I still use it. I can sort of feel it's squishy. But that's a lot of pigment to lose. So All right. Now we're going to play with the bellflowers. There are 3 colors for these bellflowers. All of the flowers are going to be purple except for that daisy. And here they are, kind of a little bit of a combo, light blue to purple. So we have pastel blue, can't even read that number, cornflower blue, and ultramarine violet. Very pretty. And again, I'm starting with the tops of these little bellflowers. All right, now we're going to add this transition to the cornflower blue. Followed by pastel blue, the lightest blue, and I'm going to burnish. Try not to get any of this white on the black because it will make the black look a little gray and matte finish. So we'll try not to disturb the black. There you go, very cute. I am now going to remember to move. Before I move, I've got these stars. I have the narwhal picture on the previous page that has a couple of some bubbles, the narwhal horn. I want those to be stickled, and I believe I will maybe stickle all these little dots as well on this page. My light yellow, see, it's getting wiggly. You can even see it wiggle. And I think that this tip is not long for this world. So that's the only warm tones. Moving down is the stars, these floral centers, and the daisy. Okay. Now, I want these leaves have lines. These leaves have a different rounded shape, and then only a single line. So this is the teal green. that's a little more blue-green. And we're going to let these leaves go lighter. I'm also going to use predominantly the teal green with maybe just a touch of the dark green on these ivy looking leaves. The vines or stems are going to be multicolored. So over here, I'm going to mix a bit of the teal green. This is actually going to be darker than these. I really wanted to limit the number of greens, but still end up with a variety of leaf tones. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, so this side, I'm gonna leave that way for now. This is dark green, yep. Back to the dark teal. I'm doing a very soft layer, and this is going to be going to the grass green, where these little leaves went straight from teal green to spring green. Oh, and then I rotated my... So when you're going really soft and you rotate, you have to remember that the rotation will change the tip, how it goes down on the paper. And I went a little hard back there, right here. And if I wanted to, I could erase that. I don't erase a lot. Okay, so we're very soft. on most of this leaf. And now we're going to do grass green, which is pretty bright. See how that's really brightening it up? I am going heavy pressure and then I'm lightening this up because I will be edging with the spring green. I'm going back to dark teal. And I'm okay with there still being a little tooth showing because I still have the spring green to glaze over the top and brighten the whole thing up. All right, we're ready for the final color. Heavy pressure, filling in all of the tooth. There we go. Now, you guys missed me coloring in all of these light green leaves, and I want them to have just a little bit of a shadow. So this is dark green. And I see I missed these two. Oh, and that one. That is a little leaf. Okay, now the last thing we have to do are the purple flowers, which is the same combination as the bell flowers, only a different amount of each color than the bellflowers had. So I want quite a bit of purple. Ah, I see another leaf. All right, moving over to the other side. Moving on to cornflower blue. The look I was going after was a somewhat hydrangea looking color combo. All right, coming back with the pastel blue, heavy pressure burnishing, trying to avoid the black because I don't want to end up with a pasty pastel lightening of the black. These do have an opaqueness to them, like the Prismas do, so you have to watch how you color over black with them. Moving up. And that is our The End. Very simple, consistent with the book and how I colored with it. Still very vibrant colors. Sticking with 4 greens. Oh, the end, small victories. But we're not done yet because we have this little tiny house. I've actually done this house. This house has been on I think the Flourish little free book that you could download had it. We are using the colors that we have here, which are all those bright colors. The only 2 additional colors I have that I didn't use, that I may or may not use, Opera Pink and Rose Red. So perhaps we will consider them. I am going to go ahead and do the house itself. this orange. And I only have one color of orange. I then have dark green. Oh, this is the teal green. But that is okay. So tiny. I have nothing good for those rocks. Not a thing. So maybe this will be some fanciful colors. I am going to go ahead, since I have a pink and a rose red, we're going to have a purple roof. Okay, so dark on the left, light source on the right. A lovely hot pink mushroom. Or rose red. Orange stem. It's almost like a Halloween house. We've got our yellow. Cornflower blue. We have the pastel blue. All right, now the only thing I think I want yellow for the window. I was holding off on that to make sure I didn't need the yellow in some other. Oh, and see, there's that tip wanting to give way. Okay, so we're leaving our whole right side here lighter. And then the only color I can think of for the rocks is the pastel blue. Just like that. And now we are finished. So, middle flower is going to be left white. I have not done anything with the front or the back. I am not sure that I will. And that concludes Small Victories. Next up, when you see this Small Victories, it will be a complete walkthrough. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. It has been quite an experience. I have enjoyed every minute of it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed coloring with me all different ways, using all of my pencil sets. And we're just going to continue on the journey to even more fun books. I do have a virgin copy of this book, so maybe someday I will want to try a specific page to do a particular technique. Who knows? So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, consider subscribing, hit the bell, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care.